A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the session. BA History Program, second semester, session number 41. I am Sudhaji, Assistant Professor, Department of History, GFGC, Ripanpet. Before starting our discussion, could you tell me, as a source of history, what are the information a literature furnishes to us? Your answer is right. It furnishes information about socio-economic condition of the people, their lifestyle, custom and tradition, etc. Today, in this session, let us learn about socio-economic conditions of Mughals. Students have learnt about the revenue and mansabdari system of Mughals. They also knew the merits and demerits of mansabdari system. They identify the features of revenue system also. Learning objectives of today's session: to enable the students to know about the Indian society during the period of Mughals, to make them to understand the economic conditions of India during Mughals, to develop the skill of locating different centers of trade and industries on the outline map of India. Learning outcomes of today's session: students will recall the social evils prevalent in medieval India. They will recall the chief items of export and import. They will define the favorable balance of trade. They will identify the trading communities of India. They will appreciate the irrigation system of Mughals period. To begin with, the Mughal period was a turning point in Indian history. Economically, the country was affluent and many new industries were started. Trade contacts were established between the East and the West. Europeans laid foundation for establishing their colonies in India. Let's move on to the social conditions of Hindus. Hindus included 90% of the population. There was a casteism, which was a social evil. Indian society was divided into many castes. Intercaste marriages were forbidden. Those who wanted property and favor of the emperors converted into Islam. It was an unfortunate thing. Some got converted by compulsion during the period of Aurangzeb, and some Hindus were socially boycotted. They became Muslims. Kshatriyas, Rajputs, and the lower class people who served in the army, postal department, or the town welfare departments were exempted from jizya tax. The poor, middle class, and the rich had to pay the tax in proportion of rupees 12 is to 24 is to 48 respectively. Child marriage, sati system, female infanticide, and johar were glaring feature in the Hindu society. You define and find out the year in which sati was abolished, and define the term female infanticide also, and what do you mean by johar. These are all as a part of your assignment. Now let us learn about the social condition of Muslims. Muslims formed only 10% in the society during the Mughal period. They were appointed as Mansabdars, Subedars, and Jagirdars. The harmony between Hindu and Muslims was spoiled by Orthodox mullahs. They objected Hindu processions and musical bands near the mosques. Polygamy and talaq was in practice among the Muslims. Widow marriages were common, contract marriages for a specific period was in practice as per the Shariat, it was called Muta system. Regarding the polygamy, which was a social evil prevalent among the Muslims, I would like to give you some extra information with reference to Quran. Listen to me carefully. Polygamy is a system where they used to get married more than one wife. Actually, Quran, the holy book of Islam, it permits to marry more than one. This permission is given under highly exceptional circumstances and with stringent conditions. Do you know why? Let me tell you. After Prophet Muhammad's hijrah to Medina from Mecca in 622 AD, who laid foundations of the first Muslim society, which from the start they faced grave threats from Mecca, who waged three major wars against Medina. Then male members of many families were died in a huge number. Many women became widows and children lost their father. Then this polygamy was permitted by the Prophet Muhammad. Polygamy was really, it is a responsibility for Muslim men. However, it has been often regarded as a male privilege or it's a source of pleasure intended for the pleasure of men. It is neither a privilege nor a pleasure also. It is a responsibility. Polygamy was allowed for the benefit of orphans and the women who were their guardians. But later on, Islamic people started misinterpreting and taking the advantage of this permission, which is a unfortunate thing. It should not be. Let's move on to the divorce. Divorce could be given easily by uttering the word talaq for three times. Talaq system is also one more social evil prevalent among the Muslims, about which I would like to give you few more information. Talaq is a word derived from Arabic word which means divorce. It is considered to be a sin according to Quran. Allah discourages divorce and encourages the continuation of marriage. Yet, three types of talaq ibsan is the most ideal way of dissolving a marriage. Actually, talaq ruins the future of many women without a future. It is a social evil which has to be abolished. The initiative taken by the Government of India is really appreciable. On 30th July 2019, Triple Talaq, that is Muslim Women Bill, was passed as a law to make instant triple talaq a criminal offense. Hope this social evil will be removed from the society soon. Next, we shall discuss about the parda. Parda system was observed by higher class women. Let us know about that. Parda is a kind of screen or a veil. It involves the seclusion of women from public observation by means of concealing clothing. It is said to have originated in Persian culture, acquired by the Muslims during the Arab conquest of Iraq by Arabs. During the British hegemony in India, Parda has largely observant was strictly adhered by the highly conscious Muslim women. This is also a kind of social evil which should also be removed from the society. The rate of illiteracy was very low among the Muslims. Women were under the mercy of men and were denied political and social equality, which made their condition pathetic, very miserable. Let's now learn about the slavery system. As per Quran, slavery was an honorable system in Islamic society. The Quran recognizes slavery as a source of injustice, as it places the freeing of slaves on the same level as feeding the poor. Nevertheless, the Quran doesn't abolish it. It was a major part of the 7th century socio economic system. The slavery system included the sale of boys and girls for domestic and other services. There were more than 2,000 slaves in the imperial household. Do you remember? Kojas, that means impotents, were employed in harems. Harems means antapura. Child labor was also an honorable social system as it was ordained in the Holy Quran. Could you find out Indian Constitution's article which tells about the abolition of child marriage, child labor? You find out. Now let us learn about economic conditions of Mughals. Cultivation was the main occupation which built tanks and wells for irrigation purpose also. Deibal Lake was built at Mewar in 1687 to 1691. Uday Sagar and Raja Sagar were built in 16th and 17th century respectively. Shah Jahan built the Saria Face Canal of 150 miles long from the Yamuna River to Delhi. A similar canal of 100 miles long was built from the Ravi River to Lahore. You can locate these places on the outline map of India. Agriculture got much patronage from Todarmal's Bandobast system. Resurvey and revised taxation methods were also there. The land revenue was based on the fertility and irrigation facilities. Cotton silk industry was flourished in Bengal. Sugar industries in parts of Bengal, Gujarat, and Punjab. Bronze industry were established in Delhi and Benares. Diamond mining in Golconda, from where world famous Kohinoor diamond was got, and peacock throne was made of that diamond. Now let us know about the trade. Before that, could you define trade? What do you mean by trade? The buying and selling of goods and services between people or countries is called trade. Trade needs a buyer and a producer, right? Nowadays consumers are being exploited much by selling adulterated goods. In order to protect their interests, in India, in the year 1986, COPRA, that is Consumer Protection Act, was enacted, which was a Magna Carta of consumers' right, and it was replaced by Consumer Protection Act of 2019. And in India, we observe National Consumers Day every year on 24th December to spread awareness about consumers' importance, their rights and responsibilities. We also celebrate World Consumers' Rights Day on 15th March every year to raise global awareness about consumers' rights. It is for your kind information. So, during the Mughals period, inland trade was flourished and the use of standard currency and measures of weight. Related with their currency, I would like to give you few more information. Listen to me carefully. Are you following me? Okay, that's good. Keep it up. In 1577, Akbar took the reform of the currency and appointed Khwaja Abdus Samad Shirazi, a noted painter and calligraphist, to be the superintendent of at the Imperial Mint at Delhi. His mints were supervised and in charge of Chaudhries. You know, the study of coins is called numismatics. The mints issued gold, silver, and copper coins. The silver coins were called rupee. It was in a round shape which weighed 172 grains. Akbar also issued a square rupee called jalali. The chief copper coin was the dam or paisa, which weighed almost 21 grams. The lowest copper coin was the jital, and 25 jitals made 1 paisa. The most common gold gold coin was the ilahi, that was equal to 10 rupees in value. The biggest gold coin was the Shahanshah, weighed a little over 101 tolas and must have been used in high business transactions. All the coins were known for purity of metal, fullness of weight, and artistic execution. They bore calligraphic inscriptions containing the name and the title of the emperor, the place of its mint, and the year of its issue. You can also study the present day coins and find out what are the information you can gather from them. Will you do it? Okay, that's fine. European traders led to increased trade activities. Each village had market. Important trading centers were Delhi, Agra, Lahore, Patna, Burdwan, Ahmednagar, etc. And the trading communities were called by different names in different parts of our country. Chettis of South India, Panjas in Rajasthan, Waharas were the chief trading communities of India. You can also find out few more communities who engage in trade. Will you do it? Okay, that's good. Now, foreign trade. Due to extensive trade in India, India exported many goods to foreign countries. The oil, that is Malmal muslin of Dhaka, supposed to be so fine that whole packing of it could be passed through two fingers. It was great demand in foreign. Are you interested to know that? Do you want to touch muslin cloth? Let us see. Silk and cotton from Surat, Ahmedabad, and Madurai, and pepper from Malabar were exported to the foreign countries. Among the chief imports, horses, velvet decorative goods, guns, perfume, and wine were imported. India had trade relationship with Holland, Portugal, England, Arabia, Egypt, Central Asia, Persia, Japan, and Nepal, etc. Both land routes and waterways were used. Till the 16th century, foreign trade to Europe was in the hands of the Portuguese. In the 17th century, British settlements grew up in South India. You can locate these countries in the outline map of the world. It's a homework for you, assignment you do at home and practice. After learning a lot about the socio-economic conditions of Mughals, we can summarize like this. The Mughals period was well known for its plenty and prosperity, and there was a remarkable progress in spheres of agriculture, mining, industry, trade, and commerce. Sometimes the country passed through a period of famine, yet peace prevailed there. Before the end of the session, let us have a quick recapitulation of the main points what we have learned today. Social conditions of Hindus and Mughals, the slavery, economic conditions of Mughals, internal and external trade, favorable balance of foreign trade, and chief imports. The books which I have referred to prepare my talk are Medieval History of India by J.C. Agarwal, History of Medieval India by L.P. Sharma, Advanced Study in the History of Medieval India by J.L. Mehta, History of India Palaksha. Hope you would have enjoyed the session. Thank you so much.